Here is a lefties losing it blast from the past. It features Ben Shapiro being threatened with bodily violence for asking a trans woman about their genetics.
Genetics?
Would you like to discuss the genetics? Or
Well, no,
what
no.
are your genetics? Sir?
So I'd stay away from the genetics and back to the brain scans.
You cut that out now, or you'll go home in an ambulance.
Yeah, that seems mildly inappropriate for a political discussion.
So that was some 8 years ago, and watch how instead of calling out that threat of violence that he'll go home in an ambulance, the other panellists lay into Ben Shapiro for being rude and provoking the threats he suffered. Talk about victim blaming.
No, I know. Well, but wait. To be fair, you're actually being kind of rude. And that's not fair.
I'm sorry, it's not rude to say that someone who's biologically a male is a male. Someone who is biologically male is a male.
But Mr. Shapiro, you knew very well that saying that to Zoe would be egregiously insulting.
Now let's go to global warming darling Greta Thunberg. She was giving a speech at a major climate protest in Amsterdam, but she was disrupted by an stage invader who was unhappy with the shift of focus away from environmental issues onto Palestine. Let's have a look at what happened.
We have not been listening. The people in power have not been listening.
I come here for a climate demonstration, not a political view.
Calm down. No climate justice on occupied land. No climate justice on occupied land.
Kosher, what do you make of that? Greta Thunberg is branching out. Climate change is not enough now. She's Middle East politics expert now. Is she going to address the UN on that too?
She just might. We're seeing this mashup of all these issues happening, and their paradox, I think, is so thick you can cut it with a knife in a lot of those things. And she just might be finding that that's where the hot, galvanizing kind of interest is right now, and maybe she needs to latch onto that to either resuscitate the climate brand or just connect them together and get some more momentum.
And finally, doesn't get much worse than this. An anti-Israeli crowd decided to hold a protest in the Melbourne suburb of Caulfield, where more than 40% of the residents are Jewish. They did it on the Sabbath, and they did it outside a synagogue.
Oh, the pepper spray's out! Stay back! Stay back! Shame on the police! Shame on Victoria! Shame on you! Show who came in! Show him!
Kosher, ugly scenes. South Caulfield Synagogue had to be evacuated, and we saw the clashes there between the pro-Israeli and anti-Israeli crowd.
We have ugly scenes. They know exactly what they're doing, why they chose that day. And I think the sad thing is there doesn't seem to be an end in sight. We don't see any crackdown or law and order or anything like that being brought to bear. And I don't know where this ends, but it's not pretty.